Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Zombrain, also known as Seth, with my co-host,
JJ, aka Junior Wolf.
And our random fact of the week, because, I always start with, I'm just scrolling through the internet, mostly that day, just something crazy that I saw. Warner Brothers doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, Warner Brothers exists. Let's get this straight. Let's start from the
Warner
beginning
Brothers
here.
exists. Okay,
if we're
Warner
going to
Brothers
talk about
exist.
this.
Warner
Okay.
Brothers does exist. But let me
So
tell you,
Warner Brothers,
out of
they
absolutely
decided,
nowhere.
They decided that they were going to sell. Or they were interested in selling. And so they were opening up to bids. So any studio could place a bid to basically buy the entirety of Warner Brothers and their stock. This does not mean Warner Brothers as a studio will be dissolved. It just means that this other studio will now own them as like a branch from it.
And guess who bought them?
As of right now, Netflix. Now, mind you, with deals like this, it's not as simple as you buy it, you have it. It's kind of similar to what we had last year with, or I guess the past few years with Activision Blizzard King, where there's a lot of court processes that have to go on first to make sure that the deal is allowed, because this is a very large deal, and it would make Netflix a giant in the media. And so as long as it's ruled that they're not a monopoly or going to be a threat to the movie economy in any way, they will be allowed to buy it, but it will still have to remain its own studio. It can't just be like Warner Brothers is now Netflix. It has to be like Warner Brothers still makes movies to make movies. It's just now Netflix has the option of putting those movies on Netflix instead of HBO Max.
Could they be Netflix exclusive, though? Like, could you have a Netflix studio and then Warner Brothers studio, but those Warner Brothers are still on Netflix?
I mean, I doubt they would say it's exclusive, but I could see a case where they put most of it on there and don't put it anywhere else.
So, at first, I thought of, we can get all Scooby-Doo. Like, they can bring back the classics and have every Scooby-Doo on Netflix. And then I realized they would also have access to DC.
All of DC, all of Harry Potter, all of Lord of the Rings, all of, I guess, no, that wasn't Warner Brothers. What else is Warner Brothers? They have a lot of other big franchises. They get all of Cartoon
Looney
Network.
Tunes.
All of Cartoon Network. Like, that's a lot of cartoons.
Oh! That's so right! Okay, guys, that's not what we're talking about today. It's just, I had to say something, because that came out of nowhere. I haven't heard anything. Normally with stuff like this, it's like, oh, Netflix has put a bid. That's a pretty big thing. I have heard nothing about this. And then out of nowhere, they have it. They have bought it. Obviously, we have to wait for everything to go through, but I don't think this is an opening bid. This is a final bid. They now bought it. And
the only other competitor there was Paramount, I think it was. It was either Paramount or Universal. One of them got upset because they felt like Warner Brothers was favoring Netflix's bid for some reason, and they felt that their bid was of higher value, and so they were trying to play fouls and get Warner Brothers in trouble.
Objection!
Anyway. But like you said, that's not what we're talking about. If we have time in a later episode, we'll talk about it, but
we'll definitely talk about it, because we have to do more media. That's going to be coming up soon. Well, when we talk about the DC reboot, how's Netflix going to affect that? Find out later on Nerd Rant. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. Today we're talking about our good old classic Fortnite. Woohoo! Now before we start the Fortnite, I do have a Fortnite fact. I did something that every gamer should never, ever do. I looked at my transaction history. And I added up everything that has been spent on Fortnite.
what's the damage?
$2,871.05.
Woohoo! That's a car off of Facebook Marketplace.
Just on PlayStation. I have definitely spent more on mobile and some other places. Probably not nearly as much, but I'm gonna bet it's close to $3,000.
It's a lot of money, Seth.
Yeah. Apparently about one coworker said $5,000 approximately on Fortnite. However, he didn't start till chapter 3.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Which is crazy. I'm like, that's awful. He had an addiction. He's also older. So he had adult money. So he was buying.
Do you regret it, Seth?
With how Fortnite's been, yes. there's not much to talk about it, but I'm gonna start off by saying one thing that I've been really anticipating, and I've said this multiple times on our Fortnite episodes. I've been anticipating creative, right? That's why I don't mind buying certain skins still and spending money and buying the V-Bucks to buy the collabs and stuff I want, because I can use these collabs in infinite number of games. But they have delayed custom modeling again, and just all of this. So I actually saw something, I forget if I talked about this on a Fortnite episode. Remember that Battle Royale that all the content creators are gonna make? Yeah, that got bought out, like the username. Someone else has it. That's not happening anymore, I don't think. And it's not that I blame them, it's just UEFN's almost 2 years, like over 2 years old. It launched with Chapter 5, and we're in Chapter 7. So we've had 2 years, and we still don't have custom modeling. Like, people have found a workaround, but it's not there. I will say, they do have Unity. Unity is going to have some kind of thing there, and I'm really excited to see how that works. But it's just not what I've been waiting for, and even when that goes in, that's not going to be an overnight thing, I think. That's going to take a few months for that iteration. So it's just, I'm kind of disappointed in that. I'm still waiting on that, and I still see the potential, but it's just, I don't know if it's going to happen. But I also say the same thing about Hightail, and here we are. See you in January.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should talk about the event that kind of happened a week ago.
Yeah. Event.
It's kind of important.
7. I will say, the event for me, I said this to you, I cannot fully rate it because we've had some pretty decent big events and mini events. Like, Chapter 5 had a lot of good mini events. It's just they didn't follow through with it, I feel like. It was kind of just like here, or even Chapter 6. We had that beginning fight, and then, like, he was defeated, but then he was the same enemy for 2 more seasons. Like, it was just kind of confusing. So, the event was good overall, but I don't really want to say what I rated out of 10 until the end of the chapter so we could see the follow through, because I will say this was an amazing way to bring back the story in such a Fortnite way. It did good, but the problem is if they don't follow through with it and they don't like actually go through with the 7 storyline and all of these other things, it's just kind of whatever. Like, I really don't care.
On the other hand, I will happily rate this event. I would put this at about 7. No reference intended.
You're funny.
But honestly, it was a good event, but it did lack actual substance. Like okay, for one,
gameplay wise, or like
I'm gonna get into that here.
Okay,
my main issue with this event was the fact that I feel like it was unearned. I feel like this was a really cool battle, and I feel like it was really cinematically done. The music was great, the action was great, the visuals were great, but it was almost 100% unearned because all of the collabs that actually appeared in this event played no part in the actual stories of the chapter or
they
the
were
past
there
few
per
chapters.
season.
They were there. Like, we had Godzilla's event,
yeah,
but he did not play a part in the story. Same with Kong. Same with Megazord.
Yeah.
You know, like, all of these people, they were there. They were added as events.
Kill Bill. What was Kill Bill doing till now?
Literally, they played no part in the story. And so them showing up in a story fashion here, I feel like just doesn't really fit in the way that it should.
I didn't like that line where he's saying, like, hey, come help us. Like, I wish we had, like, a scene almost where we go ask some of the people that could speak and they at least nod. Because realistically, we kind of took them against their will and said, come help us fight this giant robot. And how many people died? Or, like, King Kong got seriously injured and just slammed to the ground. Like, he just kind of was there. I feel like he was kind of forced into it.
And I'm just gonna, like, say this here. We won't get into it because that's a whole nother thing for another day. But I feel like this would have been the perfect follow-up if they had sucked up their pride and released a Fortnite movie before this. I feel like if they really wanted to bring back the story, the best way to do that is by releasing a movie, have your characters there, give some backstory on the 7, you know, have that exist. That way people are aware of it now, because you have a whole generation of Fortnite players right now that didn't
don't
even experience
actually
the
know
7.
it.
So, like, bring it to them in a format that everybody's going to see. Like, a movie would break the internet. So, everybody would see it. And as a result, they would know about the 7. You could have a scene like that where, like, Jonesy's going through the realities, like, hey, guys, we need help. There's this threat. Like, not only that, but that's building a lot of anticipation for this villain. And then if they want that final fight, they have to play the event. They have to play, or at least watch a video of the event, get into the game itself.
I also wasn't happy about that. I get it was kind of a goofy moment, but like for story-wise and kind of how serious this is, because this was like a really serious event, right? Like plot-wise. The fact that Jonesy's just flipping through dimensions like it's nothing, like he's just flipping channels. Like, Jonesy's supposed to be, I know he's not an expert, obviously, but I literally said it when I was reacting, like, you're not an expert. You screwed up when he said, trust us later. It's like, this is a serious thing. I feel like it, obviously, I know things happen, and maybe if we went to 1 or 2, but the fact we went through, like, 12 different dimensions, it's like, this is serious.
And this is a total, like, callback to when he first used this Rift gun, like, way back in Chapter 2 during the Hunter season and whatnot.
Like, he knows what he's doing.
The use of it destabilized the 0 point. That's what caused the blooming and the spire and all that. Like, he used it too much. The realities were colliding. That was too much for the 0 point. So even if the 0 point is not here, logically, there would be a lot of problems caused by the fact that he is pooling all of these realities together to affect a timeline that is not their own.
So, like, I get it was kind of goofy. You know, we had big heads and we went black and white. But, like, story-wise, like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's used it. He worked for the IO for, what, like 1,000 years? Like, some people forget that. Like, Jonesy has worked with this type of technology for, like, a millennia. He should be good right now. So, I don't know. I will still say, though, compared to, I will even say, not Big Bang, but definitely Fracture. I definitely think this is better than Fracture.
This is
definitely
like
think
top
it's better than Fracture.
5 events.
Yeah.
For me. It's lower on the top 5 because, like, obviously, Collision was really good. Like, that was just an awesome event.
Just the end.
What was the mothership called?
The Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Both of them were the end. The end was amazing. Especially the soundtrack. I would say the soundtrack of this one was good. I really like the soundtrack of this one.
Yeah, Chapter 1, 2, and Collision, I feel like were some of the best events ever.
Yeah. But then, I definitely will put this above Chapter 5. Like, all the mini events and stuff. Obviously, I know they're mini events, but they're still story events. I will say this is definitely ranks above all of them. Chapter 6, I don't even remember. Like, other than, like, Godzilla doing something, and then Diego was fighting.
Yeah. There were a lot of Easter eggs, though. I'll give them that. They managed to work a lot of cool little details into here, and obviously that comes with having, like, I think somebody, like, tried to get an estimate of how many, like, NPCs or bots, like, the players running behind were, and it was, like, several hundred, like 900 just in this one area, which is crazy big number.
Also, with that, like, whole thing, I want to call out how both me and you, by the way, we watched the event together, but we were not in the call together. So we're both doing our own thing. We're just in a party. And I will say, even though we have not done a proper story episode since Chapter 4, still, like the nerds we are, we did not follow the event. We looked at all the NPCs to see who's there.
Instead of going where everybody was running, where it was trying to guide us, we both turned backwards and started going into the crowd to try and see what all these skins were and stuff.
Like, no communication to each other. Haven't done this in years, but that's just how we work. And I will say, there was no data to be found. There wasn't nothing. I will say I was kind of disappointed in the quality of that.
Yeah.
Like, they were just messages. Like, they were not proper NPCs, unfortunately. But then, like, the model and voice acting for Jonesy and the Dark Presence and everything was great. Like, it looked good, but it also looked Fortnite.
I think that's one thing that I'm really glad this event managed to capture is they not only managed to get the vibes of each of these different franchises well, like each of the characters looked like it deserved or belonged in its respective franchise, but also with all of that colliding, they didn't lose the Fortnite spirit either. I feel like they still had a lot of the style and vibes that made Fortnite Fortnite.
Yeah. Where are they? Hold on, I'm gonna restart my Fortnite.
What are you looking for?
I'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did enjoy it, but I really want to wait a little bit longer to really talk about it. I will say one thing, like I said, the big thing that I really want to talk about, but we can't really talk about because we're not there yet, is they did mention the 7, and it seems like the 7 will be playing something. Like the 7 and like chapter 7 is like the most important chapter I think of all of Fortnite at this point, other than chapter 1, and that's not even for nostalgia, that's just setup. Like 8 was the start. This is like the most important because like the 7 is like what like what I told you, and I'll say this for anyone else that understands it, the 7 to Fortnite is 13 to Taylor Swift. Like, it is the most important thing to Fortnite. So they have to do something with that and call back to it. But we're just not far enough in the chapter to really talk about it.
Yeah.
There's not enough story.
This is just going to be like the turning point. Like, if they actually pursue this and flesh out story and make the gameplay fun, this will bring Fortnite back into like the top 3 games of all time, and it will remain there for a good period. But if they manage to botch this again, like they have the past few chapters with promises of story coming back and different things, then this is probably the decline of Fortnite that we're about to see. Like, if they mess this up, this was their last shot.
That's kind of why I say I don't want to rate it yet. I need to see the follow through because we've had promises and we've had hype. I remember the start of chapter 4. Oh, that little like metal sphere, that's the 0 point. Crazy sounds. We have the last reality and Geno and all this like old young Geno. Like, we have all of this crazy stuff. It meant nothing. None of it meant anything. So if we have follow through and throughout the season or the chapter and we have another event, we have a mid chapter event or something, or the chapter lasts 2 years and we actually can get some proper story going, and I will say this is a 10 out of 10 event. That's really how I see it, but I need to see follow through to see that and to rate it that high. Anything else?
No, that was good.
All right, so chapter 7. Hey.
Woo!
First peaceful end to a chapter, right?
Yeah.
That we actually saw. Who knows what happened in chapter 5 and 4, but that we actually saw. This is the first peaceful one.
Yeah, the island just got healed.
But we're on to chapter 7, which was across the ocean, I guess. Same planet? Question mark? Who knows?
Well, we didn't go anywhere.
I mean, the other island's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, everything got healed, and then we, like, got teleported, like, rifted.
No.
Yeah.
No. When it got healed, this is the island that we saw. When it, like, transitioned back, it was this one, because you can see, like, the White Cat Mountains that are on this map.
Did it?
I'm 90% certain that it was this map. So what it was is when it turned into Springfield, that old island was gone. And then when it turned back from Springfield, it was this one instead.
Why do they not have... They don't have the video. And I can't look at it because it crashed for me. So, anyway, we're on to chapter 7. Pacific break. We went from Japan to California, pretty much.
Yep. Across the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, before we talk about it, let's start with the skins and everything. All the cosmetics. First of all, what I want to reset, because my item shop didn't fully switch over, really random collab drop today that they announced like 3 days ago, and I saw absolutely no conversation in the files about it. Danny Phantom? Yup. Love that.
I'm going to use that to segue this little random tidbit in. The social media manager, have you been looking at them?
No. What?
This is so weird, and I feel like this is such like a deja vu cycle because this keeps happening. the social media manager is funny again. Remember how we always, like, we get a social media manager that's, like, interacting and they're funny and they'll reply to things. And they're funny again. And they posted, like, a clip of a bunch of stuff, like, meshed together, and it did actually have the Danny Phantom thing in it. So we, like, it was just a fraction of a second of that scene of, like, the collab.
item shop throughout the week?
No, it wasn't an item shop. This was, like, spliced together, like, pieces of trailers and stuff, and it had the Danny Phantom in it.
Huh.
But it was, like, such a small portion of the trailer. And we wouldn't have known about that if this social media manager didn't post that video, but I can't tell if it was intentional or not.
But either way, Danny Phantom? Peak, I guess? Oh yeah, I love Danny Phantom. I just wasn't expecting it. Not a huge fan of how it looks.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's, I understand just a hard medium to carry over. This is, even compared to anime, I think anime can be done in a 3D sense. This is strict 2D. Like, this is strict 2D. So, it's definitely a little bit more awkward. So, you know, it's there. I think when you look at the image, it doesn't look as good when you actually look at the skin on the side. Still looks a little weird. I just wasn't ready for this. But again, like, I'm happy for it. I just was so surprised. I'm like, Danny Phantom, when I saw the, like, what's dropping this week, I'm like, what? Does he play any importance? I doubt it. I don't think he's gonna be like the Power Rangers. I think this is gonna be more like RoboCop.
Yeah, literally.
Call back to that guy. And then the thing that really hurts me though is the fact that in the same item shop we have Skibbity Toilet.
What is culture today?
We have Danny Phantom.
Anyway,
Toilet.
Battle Pass.
Battle Pass.
So,
it's okay.
yeah. So, okay. Before we actually talk about the skins, I want to talk about
mechanics.
how they changed it. Yeah. So, the Battle Pass for this chapter is a lot different than it was previously. The way it works is you start with one skin in its entirety.
Bundle.
So,
like entire set.
yeah, a bundle. I like the word bundle. That works because it's basically that character and every cosmetic that is related to them. So the stickers, the sprays, the pickaxes, back blings, and their second style. So you have page 1 and page 2. Page 1 is their first style and page 2 is their second style, and any cosmetics that go with either. You start with basically the tier 1, so you're always going to start with the tier 1 skin or the equivalent of that. And once you hit level 5, you get to pick a second bundle to unlock. So basically you pick what skin in the Battle Pass you want to unlock next. It can be any of them apart from the tier 100 being like the last skin in the Battle Pass. Tier 85 now, I guess.
Not tier 85. Like, that's a whole other thing. That's not the tier 100, but it is.
The final skin. The probably
stupid.
coolest
That's
skin
what it is.
Be, but essentially you
there.
pick which one you want at level 5, and then you do that all the way, and once you unlock that full bundle, then you get to unlock the next one, and you just kind of keep going.
And you save your tiers too. So right, I haven't bought my next one. I didn't buy much of I bought Cat right away. That's at 5. I'm at level 20 and I have 6 rewards. So I can claim whichever one except for that final one, and I can just start unlocking cosmetics in there.
Yeah, which is nice because that means and this is kind of what we talked about in the past where like we want to be able to prioritize which things we get first.
Yes.
Because, like, if I, for some reason, don't have time to do all 100 tiers of the Battle Pass,
I get the skin
but I still really want the skin, like, even for the people who play just for the collabs, like, I can get the Battle Pass and just get my collab skin.
At level 5, you can get, Back to the Future. All that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the skins. But, like, yeah, at level 5, you can start unlocking that, and then if you want to dip, you can dip.
Which I feel like this is
good.
Is a good change. Like, that is a good thing.
This is like
something that we've asked for in the past, so it is good that they have done this finally.
So actually, real quick, when we're talking about Battle Passes, Call of Duty Season 1 just dropped too, and they did something kind of interesting too, which obviously I don't think Fortnite will ever do, because with the way this is, we're not going to go to the 1 to 100, but the way Call of Duty changed it was they made, so in order to start unlocking pages, right, you have to unlock pages first. You have to unlock page 1, 2, and 3 before you can get to 6, right?
Mhm.
What they did was they made the amount of items on page 1, 2, 3, and 4 or so only like 5 instead of 10, so you can quickly get through page 1 through 3, so you could start unlocking page 10, 11, and 12 faster. Obviously, Fortnite won't do that because we're not going to the 1 through 100 anymore, I guess. But I'm just happy seeing some changes to the battle passes because they've definitely need some work.
Yeah, battle passes have been the same for years and years, and honestly, it's gotten tiring the way they've
As
been
long
done.
as we don't go back to chapter 2. I don't like the battle star thing.
That was kind of dumb. But I really like this way, and I feel like this should be how it stays. I think they should keep it this way at least until we get tired of it, but I think we could go a couple chapters with this and be happy.
However, there is one thing that I'm not a fan of about it, and that is spoilers. So every season, when we talk about the skins, we'll talk about the skins in a minute, we go to the bonus rewards and we discuss them. However, this time, because of the way it works, instead of just having the 5 pages of bonus rewards, it's per their skin. So you have the 5 skins at the top, and then you have all their extra styles, some extra V-Bucks in there. However, the reason I don't like that is all of these have a second page of 3 mystery styles, which are the bonus styles. But we know the skin that they're on. So now instead of like anticipating what skin and us guessing every season what skin will have the bonus styles, it's just told day 1 now. We don't know what the styles are, but we know what skins are getting them.
Wait, doesn't every skin have a page 3?
No, just those 5.
Oh
Just
yeah,
those
because they did the
5.
other styles as like the other modes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's just those 5 are going to get the super styles. Guaranteed. Those 5 skins.
I mean, on one hand, I see what you mean. Like, it is a little disappointing because it was fun to theorize about. It was fun to try and predict. But on the other hand, it's not like the biggest thing, right? Like, it's not like this is ruining the battle pass. It's just
No,
like,
it's
okay,
not gonna
these are the
ruin
skins
it.
that'll get it. We still get to theorize about what it is and, you know.
Yeah. It's not going to ruin it, but we also technically don't have a bonus skin anymore. There's no bonus skin this season.
Wait.
Because we get
I
8
mean-
skins every season. 8 is the bonus. There's 7 in the battle pass. The 8th skin is the level 85.
So he's like technically our bonus skin?
He's technically the bonus skin, but he's also the tier 100.
Huh.
That's why I was saying earlier while I was like kind of frustrated is it's cool, and that's why I was like, is he he's the bonus skin, but he's also the tier 100.
Mm-hmm.
They crammed it all together, and that's another
Yeah.
thing. Like, there's just a few small throughout this episode, I'm gonna have a lot of complaints. There's good stuff. I know I was complaining to you day 1. There are some good stuff that I've seen. I will call those out. There's just a lot of small changes that just I'm not a huge fan of, and it just kind of like mellows out my feelings about Fortnite right now. And that's one of them. Like, I like the bonus skin mid-season. You can spend and you can get every skin day 1 right now. Every skin, if you spend the money or if you just grind. My one friend said they're level 250. How they're 250? I don't know. I guess XP is great, but I feel like it's been awful. We'll talk about that too. But it's just, we don't know. We don't have a surprise on the bonus skins, bonus styles, and we don't have a bonus skin mid-season anymore.
Yeah. I wish they kept the bonus skin, but like, here's my
So I
thing.
guess-
As long as they make that top tier skin always lore related, I will
Yes.
take that trade. I will
I am
take
happy
trade.
that the
As long
bonus
as
tier 100
as long as that
is the
tier
cute guy.
85 like locked behind level 85 is always lore related, like every season, I will take that trade because I'm sick of the like collab bonus skins and the
Rick
weird
and
like
Morty
yeah
over
like
anything else in the battle pass. Like
It's-
any
it's-
other skin would have been better than Rick.
it's just ridiculous. And so as long as every time it's like a cool lore related skin, I will be happy with that.
Yeah. So let's get into the skins, because what time are we at?
Yeah, we're at almost 30 minutes already.
Oh, great. Okay, so we're gonna have to speed run.
Yeah.
Kill Bill, the bride. She's okay.
I haven't seen it. Basic
Yeah.
looking skin. not
If
great.
you like the collab, you like the collab. That's much say. My favorite skin, I think, is Cat. I think she's my favorite of the battle pass completely.
She's the white one, right?
Yeah, she's the,
With the-
the
yeah.
first one. I was gonna go left
Crop
or right.
top. Yeah, I'm not looking at the game, so I don't know which one's left or right. I'm just looking at the key art.
I mostly just like it because it reminds me of Elsa, like that second style of just
She-
the silver.
No. She is also my favorite. Like, she is probably one of my favorite Fortnite skins, period, now.
It's
I'm
so
not even gonna lie.
yeah.
She is
No, it's
so
great.
clean.
She's great.
Both styles I will probably make loadouts for just because she is so clean.
Yeah, no, I love the set too.
Mhm.
Especially the other styles, which we'll talk about after we get through the skins, because that's the
Mhm.
other mechanic we have to talk about the
Yeah.
battle pass. Tiger guy.
That's a lion, my friend.
Do you know what he reminds me of? Paradise Meowscles from Chapter 4, Season 3.
It's Paradise Meowscles, thank you very much.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. I
Enough
mean,
said,
meme skin,
realistically,
so-
like, he's just the animal meme skin.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
there's nothing really about him. I think he looks really cool, like, graphically, it's good.
Mhm.
But it's just there.
Yeah. Who's next?
I don't want to be, like, racist, but the generic Hollywood Asian.
Yeah.
Carter Wu. That is Hollywood, right? That's what it is. So he's supposed to be the surfer guy, the lion. Kat's the model. The female model. He's just the generic Asian guy, and his entire set is the Chinese colors.
Yeah.
I'm not
He's
a fan of
cool.
that. Like he's
I-
cool.
I
It's
like his
just
design.
full hard stereotype, and it's just kind of bland.
Yeah. I like his dragons. I like his like style with the glowy tattoos. Like that's cool, but it's just a meh skin regardless of
Yeah.
anything else.
Karina, she's okay.
Probably the least favorite.
I wish
She's
the second
literally
style
just
at least
so
did something
boring.
fancy, right? Like maybe a robot, like like
Uh-huh.
like a techie suit. Like she's just a person.
She just sucks.
Marty McFly, Back to the Future. Great.
Cool. Another one which is just like, if you like the collab, cool. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
Back to
him.
the Future's cool, but it's just. Do you know what I'm disappointed in?
Hmm?
I know why they didn't, but the fact that the car, or at least parts of the car, or at least the boost or something's not in the battle pass. I know they're not. They didn't do it because they can make money off of it, selling the DeLorean. But like seriously, we have not had a car since Chapter 5, Season 1. I think.
I mean, with this new way of doing things, it'll allow them to add like a page that is just like a car or something now. So I guess we'll see what happens.
And then we have Miles Cross, who's the generic action guy.
Sucks. I don't like it.
If you like action movies, he's a pretty generic buff action guy.
Yeah.
But if you don't like action movies, like he's just kind of a guy. Like, and when I say action, I mean like those war movies, something like I might see in Predator, like, one of the soldiers or something, like just a generic action war character.
Yeah.
And then the only other good skin of the battle pass, other than Kat, who's great, is Dark Voyager, reality redacted, description redacted. Love that, by the way. I just love that, first of all.
So, I mean, what do you think of the skin first, I guess?
I like mine better, the Season X remix.
Uh-huh.
But it's just like that, but it's also really good. I do like it. It's a good
I really like it. The design is really, really cool. I like the lights. I like the cube, obviously. It's really cool. And it reminds me a lot of Chapter 2, Season 8's, like, super styles.
Yeah.
Like, with the floating cube inside and the different colors. But really cool skin. Great design. Do you think it's the Visitor?
No.
I've seen so many people
'Cause-
saying that this is the Visitor corrupted by the last reality.
Oh, so that's definitely I thought when you just say the Visitor, I'm like, what? Like, no, he's worse than the last reality. Like, no, but now that
No,
you
no, no,
say
yeah.
it like that, like a corrupted Visitor.
Because obviously we saw them all get chromed, right? The 7 was chromed, missing
Well, no,
whatever.
not even that. Not even that. But the Visitor is still the most mysterious. He's the first to be launched, and we really don't know much about what happened with him from the time he launched the rocket originally to a scientist in Season X.
So
He's
who would be the
most
best person
mysterious
to
member.
launch the new story with is the person that we don't have any
Start-
story on yet,
or
right?
also started it originally. We're starting the reboot with a corrupted version, the mysterious start to the original story.
It
Could be
comes
great.
full circle, start with the start again. And with how we
But-
saw them end last time, it makes sense because the last reality is what was controlling the chrome, right? Like the Herald was a agent of the last reality. So if they got chromed, it is logical to say that they were still alive and that the last reality corrupted the members that did get chromed.
Or none of that, because that makes sense, and the story's not going anywhere. let's stop talking about the story. Let's like how about let's just get the story out of the way. Hey, the cradle's back.
Yeah,
And got down the bus. I don't want to talk more about it because we're just gonna get our hopes up. Again, we don't know anything else. The cradle's back and the 7's supposed to come back. We have no information.
This is kind of the point of the podcast, though, is theorizing about random stuff that probably isn't going to happen. So.
Yeah, but we have like other stuff that we have to cover, and if we weren't, I'm assuming like 35 minutes in.
Yeah.
If we had more time, I would talk about it. But like this is a one episode.
We could talk for 2 hours.
We could. I need a shower and go to bed.
No, you don't. You don't need a shower. Just spray on some Axe or something.
Anyway, so he's cool. And then he's the final skin. So let's talk about the other styles that you get with them. We have a Battle Royale, Reload, and Blitz style.
Mm-hmm. So all of these styles are things that you have to get by playing these individual modes. And, I mean, the first week, the other modes weren't available. We'll get to that later. But now I believe they are available.
Almost all. OG's not. But I don't think that is a style
I don't
for
think
this. So all of these ones you can earn now.
Yeah, but you have to fully unlock that character's whole bundle, like all of their items, before the quests become available. And then you can go into the other mode and do their quests to unlock that style.
And, yeah. So I have Cat already. And I've already got some progress. However, it still says 0. I killed a player in Blitz. I picked up the exotic Chug Chug. It still says 0.
I'm working on it. I still have a couple things in our bundle left to get before I have access to the quest, so.
So it only gives me 3, and you need 7. So it only gives me 3 at first, and I have to beat those 3, all of them, to get the next set. It is enter a rift within 10 seconds of hitting a player, collect exotic or mythic weapons from eliminated players. Like I said, I guess it has to be a weapon. Maybe that's what it is, because it was a Chug Jug, it doesn't count. Which is stupid, by the way. Really stupid. And then emote at named locations in different matches. That one doesn't seem too bad, I guess. And then, yeah. I like the style. How do you feel about this idea? Because I will say I haven't seen much, but what I have seen is not great.
I think this is perfect. And I know a lot of people probably won't agree with this, but from my point of view, this is exactly what the Battle Pass needs to do. If they want these other modes to gain a player base and succeed, this is exactly what they need to do. Have a skin, especially if you can make it one that you think people are going to like, what's her name? I'm going to keep forgetting her name.
Cat?
Yeah. If you can make it one that you feel the community is going to enjoy and want to get, then add this extra style on it. Don't make it like one of the core 2 styles. It needs to be a third one. It has to be something on top because it needs to be optional. It needs to be something that if I don't like the style, I don't have to go play the other mode. I'm not gonna like go out of my way to get something that I don't want. But if it is something that I want, this is the perfect way to get somebody into another mode. I was playing Blitz and really enjoying myself. I have not touched Blitz since it came out because I had no interest in playing. But now, like I'm playing Blitz, I'm having a great time. Honestly, I enjoyed it more than the couple of Battle Royale matches I had. I'm not saying it's going to be my new main mode, but like I'm probably going to end up playing it a little bit more than I have in the past just because this was a perfect way to get me back into it.
So I'm going to say Blitz needs a lot of changes for very specific reasons and funny reasons. We'll talk about that later, though. Needs a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree. I don't really have a preference, but it's kind of cool, and I do agree. We've been talking about that. We need pages for cars. We need pages for instruments. We need pages for these modes, quests for these modes. So I think if this is how they're going to do it, what I also hope is every battle pass, whether there's a new OG season or not, and whether there's a new reload map or not, I hope we get extra Kickstarter challenges as well. That's another problem I've had. If you complete reload, but there's like a whole month before the next map drops, you don't have any reload XP really, other than playtime. There should be every season when there's a new battle pass, you should have an extra set of challenges, whether that's an extra week of reload challenges that's locked behind the launch of a new season or something.
And I mean, we talked about this a long time ago in the past as well, but we had said that we really wanted them to bring back like having to do quests to get cosmetics, to get like the styles of skins and stuff. And
like last season actually did that. You had to do weekly to get the bonus skin, and I love that. Tinning did the professor.
But I think it's even better to do styles rather than the bonus skin. And I like that they did the bonus skin, but now that we don't have a bonus skin, this is a good happy medium. And I think it's especially good if they take it in a new direction next time. Instead of it being basic quests, have it be stuff relating to the skin, right? Like, we obviously see Kat is plastered all over Blitz this season. Like, you can, like, she's in the key art, she's in the loading screen, she's in the map, like photo frames, stuff like that. She's everywhere for Blitz. If they can have those quests that you do in that mode relate to the story of that character, this would be one of the best things to happen to the battle pass.
Imagine they get story per character, like Chapter 2, Season 2.
But in order to figure out that story, you have to go and play that other mode and do their quests. And as a reward, you get the style. It's giving me Razbai from Chapter 2, back when he did the Spire. You had to go into the game, you had to do quests that were relating to him and his story, and that's how you unlocked his purple style. This is how that feels, just instead of it being like a quest in your quest tab, it's something that you actually have to do in the battle pass.
But that makes sense. It's not gonna happen. Anyway, anything else about cosmetics? We'll come back. We'll have to do another mid-season probably, and then we'll talk about some more cosmetics and stuff changing. The only other thing I have to say for cosmetic-wise is, did you see what happened with Courage today?
Yeah, dog.
So, Courage JD is one of the biggest content creators. I'm not saying he's my favorite, but without a doubt, he's been there for a long time. I think he's almost most famous for saying, this is your new World Cup champion, Booga. Like, he's the one that said that. He was an announcer at the World Cup. And he still does not have an icon skin. And Cypher and everyone constantly trashes on him, saying he's fat. So it's just a trash can, or it's just the generic fat guy, like Family Guy. He's okay with it, by the way. Like, this is like queso. Like, it's just kind of part of the community. Before he gets one, we get our first icon sidekick, which is Courage's dog, which is funny. I feel bad for the man. He has his entire friend group, and every single one of them has an icon skin. Ninja.
When your new dog gets an icon skin before you do.
Anyway, let's get to some gameplay and the map and stuff.
Anyway, yeah, let's touch on the map first. Yeah, I feel like that'll go by fast. We have like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm mixed on it. I think it is a good remix map. And the reason I say that, I feel like half the map reminds me of like Chapter 5 and 6, and I literally saw a house from like, not Reckless, but wherever the other one was, the farm. Like, I've just seen direct locations, or like, not like either direct buildings or very similar layouts of other POIs. I think it was well done though.
I think, I mean, to your point, it's kind of a problem when they start trying to mimic like real world cities and stuff, because they all look the same. So when you do that, you kind of have to choose unique stuff. And I feel like they did a good job at that, choosing some unique ones. Like, we got the kind of like Vegas clone, we got obviously the Hollywood, we got the theme park, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I feel like they did it well. But the one thing that I really want to highlight on this map that really made a difference for me, at least, is the colors.
Yeah.
The colors on this map are stunning. And that doesn't just go for the textures, that goes for the lighting as well. The way that they play into lighting. And I haven't seen this in the 120 FPS mode yet, just to be clear. I've been playing on the 60 with the lighting, the lumens and stuff. But the way that they play the colors into the lighting makes this map look amazing, because they have like the geysers in the one hotel area that have like the pink and the blue in them. They project onto the walls and floor around them. The signs, they all glow and actually cast light onto things. It takes this like very monotone town and the style of these things, like these buildings that are just gray, and it casts them in these colorful lights, and it makes everything seem just like so much more alive, instead of the kind of like dead realism feeling that we've been having the past few chapters.
Yeah. So I obviously only play 120. I can. Like, I don't think, would you be playing 60 FPS if you like had a proper setup?
If I had a setup, yeah. I just on
like,
the TV,
no, I'm saying like, would
better.
you play 120, or would you keep playing 60 if you had like a proper setup?
If I had a proper setup and I was able to use my monitors, I would absolutely be on 120. But with the
Okay.
TV, it just looks better in 60.
So yeah, I can. So I really don't see
Mhm.
myself going back to 60. But I just kind of always assume the lighting's decent. Uh, I'm gonna say the same thing I kind of said with Chapter 4. It's not necessarily that it's bad. It's just not Fortnite, and I just don't care enough. Like
Mhm.
Fortnite's not the game that I want the lighting to go crazy like that.
Mhm.
Um, it's revolutionary, and like Epic absolutely has all the right to use their biggest IP to show off the technology that they made, because Unreal Engine is their product, and I
Mhm.
think it's good. It's just not Fortnite to me. It's the same thing like with the start of Chapter 4 looking hyper realistic, and then Chapter 5 looking realism, not just
Mhm.
realistic, but realism, like in locations and stuff. So I just really haven't cared. But I can
I feel like there's a
see.
little bit of disconnection here though, because I feel like a lot of what makes it feel like Fortnite is the colors and the cartoony stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like that's we can both agree like that is
Yeah.
the feel of Fortnite, and I feel like without the lighting, this map would look dead and not nearly as colorful, and I feel like that's why I think this definitely feels a lot more like Fortnite, but if you're playing on 120 and you don't have that lighting, you don't have that color being cast on everything, it's just going to feel that same dead realism
So,
that we've had.
Well, what I was going to say, though, is I will also say it actually reminds me a lot of the Squid Games reload map.
Mhm.
But I will say one of my favorite POIs, not that I've been there a lot, but feels fresh and Fortnite-y, was Wonky Land.
Mhm.
I really like the aesthetic of Wonky Land. And there's a few other POIs that I really don't mind the aesthetic of. The other problem is with the map, though, not really a map, but like one of the gameplay, with the surfing mechanic. The start of the season, you can only surf. It's really hard to explore the map. You cannot choose where you want to go. And I've seen people saying, like, the first day, they only had the south. So they did not touch the north at all.
Yeah,
So I
it
haven't
was
been
really
fully
tough
able to
'cause
explore the map.
especially as
fully.
somebody who wants to do quests, right? Like the one quest where
Oh
you
my
have
gosh,
to
yeah.
buy a service from the bride. She's in this POI that's kind of like central top right, and I didn't surf from there at all. So I had to land on somewhere around the outskirts of the map on the opposite side and then try and make my way all the way up to that corner before she was either killed or bought
Or
out.
Storm.
Or Storm. Like, it's just a lot of elements that make it so much harder to do your quest that I don't think they really thought of when they did.
No. So yeah, it's... I can't say too much, but I'll say it's not the worst map, but it's, like, it just kind of reminds me of a mix of the last few chapters. Like, chapter 4 through 6 is just what it kind of reminds me of. It still doesn't... Nothing about it or the POIs or the name, like, anything really just calls out Fortnite to me. But it also isn't telling me this is bad. It feels like it's what the last few chapters did, but a little bit better. I will say
Yeah.
what a lot of Chapter 7 is they absolutely improved on things that they've done the last few chapters that people either weren't a fan of or they did poorly, and they've done better here.
I feel like this is, just like I said at the beginning of the episode, this is probably top 5 in terms of chapters for me. Just because it's not better than obviously the GOATs, like 1, 2, and 3, some of the best Fortnite we've ever gotten. It's not better than that, but it's
The golden
it's
era.
much better than the dead zone that is 4 through 6. And so
I would
it's-
say
it's-
almost 5 through 6. Realistically, I still think there's a lot of problems with 4, but I think just something about the gameplay when it comes to like not having the projectile and just a few other things like augments. Realistically, I think the last time Fortnite felt like Fortnite was Chapter 4. Because Chapter 4 Season 2 was mega. That was great. Season 4 was Last Resort. We had the stealing, and that was really cool with all the OG mythics. And then we went into OG. And I think after OG is when it kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
So
I would
I
put
wanna
this
say
at like
Chapter 4 is
4
as
or
dead.
5, but it's definitely top 5.
Yeah. The only problem I have with it is why do we have a reload and blitz version of it already?
Yeah, it's a little
I-
weird.
And I saw Ozzy talking about it, and he said, I like it. But he also had to say, like, it's not that it's bad. Like, if you like the map, it's great. Reload and blitz are for a medium that they can be more expressive and free. They can do a snow location. They can do it, like, a classic location. Chapter 2, 3, 4, even 5 at this point. But why is it just like the current stuff? And it's nice. And why I wasn't a huge fan of the bus being shot down, so we couldn't play Blitz, Reload, still can't play OG, and we couldn't play Ranked, is when we had no build, in chapter 2 or chapter 3, people were just like, go play reload or go play creative. Creative's stupid. I shouldn't have to go play creative, but go play ranked is somewhat valid. But the fact that they didn't have any of those options, so if you don't like this map, you can't go anywhere. You can't play an epic game mode other than these ones. You could play Save the World, but I actually will say they've been changing Save the World more, JJ. Fort stats no longer exist, which I'm not a huge fan of. They also changed some of the trees and the starting zones to be like the chapter 4 trees.
Weird.
And it's like, Save the World is still like vintage, and I know they're trying to update it, but I wanted to keep that style, that strict style. That's what makes Save the World a little different from everything else.
If they do decide to change it, have it an option to like do legacy graphics or you know, Unreal Engine 5 graphics, you know, be able to toggle it. That way the people that want to keep the game the way they bought it can still do that.
Because I will say there's other great things, but the other thing is with Save the World, it is a financial purchase to play this mode. So if I'm spending, I look back, I spent $43 on Save the World back when it was the founders and everything. So I'm spent $43, and if they were completely overhaul the changes, I'm like, you best be giving me like a refund at this point. Like, I'm happy for all the V-Bucks, but like, this is not the product I purchased. But that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so how do you feel about that? Just like having Blitz and Reload be the new map.
Yeah,
and not having access to the other ones. There's no rotating for Reload. There might be rotating coming to Blitz, but as of right now, it's just Chapter 7.
I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, yeah, Blitz is rotating because I got the Stranger Things one. So, I mean,
well, no, like it's gonna have rotating like Reload, where every 10 minutes is gonna be a different map.
Yeah, but like I don't know. These I don't think it was necessary to make this map or this chapter's version of maps yet. I think that should have waited until at least we have a season change, right? Like I feel like it was not necessary to launch with them, and I feel like it's just, I don't know, it makes things more needlessly complicated. They could have just kept the other maps and given things time, but no.
Yeah. What time are we at?
We're at 51 minutes.
What? Oh, we're cooked. Okay.
Maybe we just save like actual gameplay stuff for another time. Like maybe we talk about that next time we make our way around to Fortnite, because we are not getting through all of the guns and all that stuff in the next 10 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
So anything else not gameplay related you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I'll talk about Blitz and some of the competitive changes. Now, I actually have to put those two together. So, first of all, Ranked was delayed, and that was a whole thing. And I'm still not a huge fan of that, because they had $1 million tournament, and they delayed the, I saw a lot of people saying they were excited for Ranked, because they were going to grind to Unreal in the launch of the chapter to get access to this $1 million tournament, and then the hype died for a lot of them. Another thing I saw was people were kind of expecting Ranked 2.0, which I don't know if we mentioned it here. There's supposed to be like an arenas file name and Ranked 2.0 or something. We don't know much about it. Clicks apparently has played it. He does not know when it's coming out, but he said it will be something more that only pros will play. Not that only pros will play. That only pros will hit Unreal. So it won't just be something where we can have someone like Bushcamp Dad who sits around and does nothing. Like, that's cool and all, but like that just makes Unreal so worthless. Like, realistically, Unreal means nothing. And there are some changes. So that's kind of unfortunate. But apparently, they have another $1 million LAN happening at the end of next year. Can you guess what it is?
What?
It's not Globals. It's Blitz.
Yay!
JJ, it gets worse. Because it's only touch controls on mobile.
$1 million
$1 million
mobile tournament.
$1 million for a mobile, and it's Blitz. Have you seen what a, like, quote unquote stacked endgame for Blitz looks like? Do you know how long the matches take?
Too long.
5 minutes. 5 to 6 minutes. Here's the problem. Do you know when the first person dies? 20 seconds before the game ends. It is a heal off. Nobody shoots. The last 10 seconds are everyone just healing and running through bubbles because it's a 40 tick zone. There's no killing. There's no reward for doing it. The person that won died the first game, and the rest of them, it's like, what is this mode? It's not that I have a major problem for Blitz, but I think for a competitive mode, the fact that it's touch controls, so no controller on your phone. There's no build mode. And it's just strict heal off. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
for $1 million. But do you know why they're doing it? Did you hear the stat about Roblox? I've seen a lot of people talking about this in this competitive sense. It's doing it because if you look at Roblox, Roblox has millions of players, right? 90% of Roblox is on mobile. So they're trying to take some of these people on like mobile, because it is a large platform, get them into Fortnite and even competitive. Will they win? No, because you're still gonna have to be good to win, right?
But
You're
they're
have
gonna
some game
download
sense.
Fortnite and they're gonna play and they're gonna practice, you know.
Exactly. However, here's another thing that I think is also kind of a miss with this. Do you know what else this would have been a perfect launch of, along with Ranked 2.0? The thin client. If they're trying to do a $1 million mobile tournament, by the way, this is not just a simple 1 or 2 games. We have qualifiers every month until October. There's like 4 rounds every month to get your one place, and there's only 16 people that are playing. There's only gonna be 16. Like, it's crazy however this works. But this would have been a perfect opportunity for thin clients. You can just download Blitz. On mobile at least, because I know it's coming to mobile first. So it's just really weird timing how they're doing all of this.
Yeah.
It's like Blitz just, I don't think is a competitive. We've tried Reload, but at least Reload has some other mechanics just for a competitive sense, because whether Blitz is competitive or not, it is $1 million. Like, the first place gets like 10 grand or something. Like, it's crazy the money that's on the line. And Blitz for the mode just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's happening. I was just like, whoa, okay. I will say, though, now that Ranked is out, I will look forward to play BR a little bit more, because this is exactly what we've been saying Ranked needs to be. I'm not going to talk about these mechanics specifically, but in Ranked, we don't have the lightning cannon. The becoming the boss feature isn't there, which I don't think is that good anyway.
No, I can't.
Becoming the boss is not there. And a whole bunch of other changes that Ranked, that stuff's not there. The katana's not there. Shockwaves aren't there. However, for the first time in years, do you know what will be there? Driving. Because of the reboot van.
That's right.
Not a fan of that either. I'm going to be honest. I guess we could talk a little bit about gameplay, because I think this is another really big change. Drivable reboot vans. I'm not a fan of it. And it's not because they're bad. I think drivable reboot vans are great. My problem is, I think it should have been a thing where we had both.
Yeah, like regulars and drivable. I mean,
because
technically, we do have both.
Some are locked. Yes, some are locked.
Yeah, some are locked.
I think they're random, though. And my problem with that is, reboot vans should be a thing where my teammates knocked, I have to go reboot them. I know where one is. Now I don't. I have zero idea on where a reboot van is. I'm like, oh, I'm close to this POI.
Does it
There's
still
a
not
reboot van.
show up on your map? Like,
but I shouldn't have to travel. Now I have to go travel and chase this car down to go reboot him. There should at least be, maybe less, but there should still at least be, I think, at least 5 permanent location reboot vans around the map. So if I'm close to middle, I know there's a reboot van around me.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Along with the drivable. The drivable I don't have a problem with. It's just we should have permanent guaranteed locations, because it's just at like a battle royale and all these other changes that they're making. Just, it's so unpredictable. I just think we need something like that. And then especially with zones, right? Because what happens if 3 of them are like driven out or something? Because you could also shoot out the tire on a reboot van, and I'm not a fan of that. I think reboot vans should stay indestructible. And it's a hard balance, because it should be indestructible, I do think, but at the same time, I don't want someone sitting in there unkillable.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about the storm, though? Starting off a little wobbly.
I think it was fitting for at least during the surfing. Like, I feel like that, it made a lot of sense for that, but now I'm kind of hoping they change it to be a little bit more actual, like, interactive dynamic. Like, I hope it
Yeah. I mean,
ends
did you
up
see we're
being
supposed
like
to get a snowman and a whole bunch of other random stuff?
that would be great. I mean, I'm not as enthusiastic about actual shapey shapes. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
a star. I don't want a face. I don't want, like, the Master
Yeah.
Chief helmet. Like, I don't really want that stuff. I want, like, actual, like, blobs, or, like, surround a POI, or, like, guide us down a mountain, give us a path, a column. Like, it would make for a lot of interesting gameplay situations if they use this
Yeah.
effectively.
Do you want to hear something funny that happened with the storm, though, in the first tournament of the season?
Mhm.
It bugged out, and it opened inward. So what happened was, like, second or third zone, it completely closed. The entire map was zoned, and then it started opening from the middle of it.
Lovely.
So with all the storm surge and everything, I think it's one of the first games where I've seen, like, someone not purposely messing around in zone getting storm sickness near the end, because there was an entire zone. And then also I saw somebody saying there's not a lot of big pots, but he even said he's not sure what the big pots look like because all of these people are carrying med kits because of what happened. I'm just like, at least there wasn't money on the line, but man, ranked and competitive, like, I don't know what's going to be happening the next year. It's already been wild, and it's going to be interesting.
Anyway, Seth, we're over an hour.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, guys, go subscribe. Hit the bell. Next week will probably be, what is it?
Game Awards, right?
Awards?
Yeah, I think so.
No. Maybe the week after, because Game Awards is the 11th, I think, right?
The 11th is before next weekend.
Yeah, but I also don't know what's like, so it might be next weekend, but it also depends on if, like, the Steam Machine drops.
It shouldn't drop until
It
next
shouldn't
year.
drop, but this is how the podcast goes. So this one, like, the last few were guaranteed. The next few, we have the idea, and they're gonna happen the next 3 weeks. Which order of that, I can't tell you. So hit the bell. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and also, hey guys, in a few weeks, we'll be talking about our Spotify Wrapped. We're coming up in the end of the year. We do this every year. We're going to talk about what Nerd Rant did this year and our goals for next year. So make sure you go follow, yada yada. Post your Spotify Wrapped in the Discord. I'm Dr. Zombrain.
Yas Queen.